So, hello, I'm Méganne. Happy to be here. And let's sort of figure out what's going on in the world, yeah? What's been going on lately? All right, so the big thing, right? The big deal now has been the Balenciaga saga. Is what I call it, the Balenciaga saga. So we all know the story. They did some sort of ad campaign. Let's see if I can find it. And they had children with these teddy bears wearing BDSM gear. Yeah, it's the sexualization of children for me. But one of the things I thought nobody ever really talked about was, and why is that? Nobody ever talks about the bears. Yeah, the bears, if you guys are familiar with SNL. Nobody talks about the bears. So to me, the bears have been completely fetishized. And I'm sure there's like some weird market for that as well. See, that's why I was a serious journo with a good reputation, because I find the angles that nobody really, sees. But yeah, think about it. I mean, if I can get a representation, I don't want to sexualize the children, do you understand? I want to find the bears, because they've been fetishized, which I think is odd. And so if I could find the bears individually, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut off the children's heads symbolically, and we are going to focus on the bears, because, well, that's what I want to focus on, that's why. So let me see if I can do that now. Oh, I can. All right. So I'm going to share the screen and I will talk about the bears. Look at them bears. Now, to be fair, I did not realize that that was BDSM, because, I'm not part of the underworld, as they say. I'm not part of the underworld, right? What's that, 50 Shades of Grey, whatever. Was not into it, didn't see the movie, read the book, whatever. So I've got no idea about all that stuff. So I know that's from there, the BDSM. I know the word because of that whole era of 50 Shades of Grey. Like, I mean, the men were trying to pick up women with the 50 Shades of Grey type of stuff. Ooh, 50 Shades, because they're not all women were reading that or watching the movie and fantasizing about it. Okay, let's be honest, it's more your fantasy, really. Okay, I digress. Clearly, I veered off topic. So look at the bears. Do you see them there? Some loony is watching this right now going, ooh, the bears. See? Gross. But more importantly, we haven't seen like really big stars kind of say, oh, they're in uproar and they're gonna, not be part of the whole Balenciaga thing. I mean, what, Kanye West gets dumped by them and Balenciaga gets an issue, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he cast a spell or something. And now Balenciaga's getting it. So, and I'm wondering, is Adidas next? Because, Adidas and Balenciaga had a collaboration. So we've not heard from them saying, ooh, Balenciaga has been, naughty. And more than naughty, I mean, criminal, really. I mean, all the stuff that we hear about it, it's really horrible. The thing about it is that it's it's really ignoring the most vulnerable, which are children and, you know, animals. These bears have done nothing to anybody. They've done nothing to anybody, and they're fetishized, and they're look at them. They look ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous. Look, I mean, can I look at that, look at that, look at that, with a look. What is that about? I mean, the people are sick. The person who did this is sick. That's who you need to look at, because that person who posted that, or who put together the ad campaign and then put the little documents of like some Supreme Court case involving, yeah, it's really detailed. It's the controversy is that they put children, sexualize them. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. They put children, sexualize them, and then within the photo, you saw that there was like a document of like a case against, not against, but there was a famous, not a famous case, but a well-known case that dealt with the exchanging of photos. If they look innocent, it's not the problem. The problem is that the people that are into sexualizing children, they actually swap photos. So there was sort of a controversy about whether that's criminal or not. And that's what the case was about. I'm not sure, I can't, because I was really more interested in the bears. Okay, so I didn't get to, and plus I wanted to see other people. And you know what? Balenciaga, you suck. Because I really liked your stuff. And now I've got to, I don't know, I might wait till I see more people. Is that wrong? I don't want to wait till I see more people talk about it, but I feel like if more people are outraged, I'll be outraged with them. I mean, I am outraged, but I'll be like outraged to the point where I'll let go of my Balenciaga stuff. Boo for Balenciaga. All right, so we'll move on from that. And now the next story I wanted to talk about was this hunter. It's really sad, actually. It's not the best segue, is it? But anyway, so let's get on this story. For whatever reason, look, I've not played stuff because last time I had an issue, and it turns out is that I've got to update my player. And I just don't feel like doing it right now. So if you update the player, I don't know if it's going to take some memory, if it's going to do something. It's got to be when I feel like it, and I'm not always on the computer, all right? So we're going to be looking at photos. Is that all right with you? Sorry, that was a little bit pitchy. Simon Cowell, have you seen his new face? Gonna look at that later. No, we're not, because he's not an animal. Like I said, I'm going to branch out. So when I branch out, we're going to look at Simon's new face, all right? And so let's share the screen to talk about this man that was shot by his own dog, yeah? It's very, very sad. So look, here you see the player thing. But here's the headline. Hunter accidentally shot dead by his own dog in freak accident. Goodness gracious. This is in the New York Post, and it says, a new dad tragically died after he was accidentally shot by his own dog during a hunting excursion in Turkey over Thanksgiving weekend. The irony. Turkey, the country, but then Turkey during Thanksgiving, do we not? I'm not making light. I'm just making correlation. Stop it. The freak accident occurred while Ogsur Shevrekoglu, 32, was pursuing game with his pals on the Zipland, the Kizlan Plateau. Got it. In Samsun province last weekend, Newsflash reported. While the expedition went off without a hitch, disaster struck. Goodness. So he was reportedly putting his dog in the trunk of the car when its paw inadvertently touched the trigger of the still loaded gun, causing the weapon to discharge into the sportsman at close range. Now, I do not want to victim blame, but put the gun aside and then put dog in trunk. Do not try to do too many things at the same time. Biologically, men do not have that capacity. I'm sorry to say, it's science. They say it all the time. Women can multitask, which is why they'll have a baby on the boob, they'll be on the stove, and they'll also be on the phone at the same time. Do you understand? This is what we can do as women. Y'all cannot do that. I mean, you can stretch your balls at the same time as you have a conversation. I've seen that plenty of time. My husband does it all the time. It's gross. Stop it. And that's as far as your multitasking goes, really. So, unfortunately, this is the man. This is the game. And this is the dog. It's a cute dog. Oh, the dog is devastated because who's got a feeling it. You understand? So there's that going on. And look at him. It's not bad looking. And then the whole camouflage thing going. And then the whole, that's not camouflage, that's to be seen. So ironically, so that you don't get shot. You wear the orange so that you can be seen and not get shot. So that's what's going on. Maybe it's just to look like a leaf. No, I'm not quite in the hunting world. It's the litter. Oh, the deceased poses with puppies in an undated photo. So we're very sad about that, but I think it's a cautionary tale. If you're a man, do one thing at a time. All right? Let's just scratch your bits. Other than that, we're very sad for him, and hopefully the dog is doing well, and let's see. What's the dog staying? Who's got the dog? Who's got the dog? Ooh, some people say, some Turkish media outlets say that Cevkoglu was actually murdered and the dog excuse was simply a cover-up. That changes everything. As if yet investigators haven't found any evidence of foul play. Okay, and they're saying a similar fiasco in 2018, a New Mexico man was accidentally shot in the back by his dog while on jackrabbit hunt. I've not heard any women. Just saying, I don't want to get any comments from people saying, oh, you're being chauvinistic. Let's just say, history speaks for itself. Right, moving along. What's the next story? What I'd like to talk about. Oh! All right. No. Let's do this one. So, as you all know, sad, Aaron Carter died. Haven't heard about the autopsy yet, but they say he was found with a lot of whippets around this solvent that you inhale, and they're saying you have like some sort of a lot of mental health issues apparently. I feel bad for the man because you really got the impression that Aaron Carter was the kind of person that really wanted to, I don't know, be well. He had a lot of issues with his mother, with his brother, and as you remember, his brother was in I Want It My Way. Tell me why. Oh, Backstreet Boys. Yeah. What's his name? So he's Aaron. So the other one's Nick. Yeah. So he had a lot of issues with his mother, and there's a lot of issues with his brother Nick. So and then he lost his twin sister 3 years back. So he just got the impression of somebody who just wanted to be well, who just wanted to be happy. And he was fiancé, he had a baby, there were issues there as well. He'd lost custody and all that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about his German Shepherd. He had a German Shepherd, and they were saying that he was rehomed, right? So if anybody was wondering what happened to his dog, well, apparently his dog made it safe and sound to a new home. And this is on TMZ, and they say we're told she's staying somewhat within the fam, going to a relative of his fiance. So sort of within the fam. I'm sorry, the fiance is not fam, because again, she's fiance. She does have his baby. So it is the fam of his child. So if it's the fiance's family, then it's fam of his child, yeah? Because the fiance is part of that child. All right. So unless the child isn't the fiance's and it's a separate fiance, I'm not sure. But I was more concerned about the German Shepherd, to be honest. And of course, I'm sad that he's dead, because, you know, you get the feeling that he was a very talented person, that he could have done more. And life is cut short. He was very young. So, and we never want that to happen. But let me show you a picture of said German Shepherd so you can get an idea of what he looks like. Look at those two. Isn't that sweet? Look at that face. She's so pretty. She's a handsome dog. But yeah, so do we get a name? I think it's Zelda. Yeah, Zelda. So that's Jennifer Martin, Melanie's sister, and her fiance, 3.5-year-old. So this is the day after Aaron passed. I don't know, I feel like their smile's a little bit too wide for the day after Aaron passed. Just saying. Okay. So now we are going to talk about what's next. Oh, another celebrity. Right? This should be fun. So here it is. Pink drops thousands on abstract painting by chimps at Miami Art Week. So, is that Art Basel? Yeah, why don't they just say that? Okay, so Miami Art Week is already going ape, says, what's this publication? Page 6. Excuse me. So let's share page 6 and we'll see what they're talking about. I feel like I haven't been here in a long time. I'm getting lost in the sauce. But here, look at Pink. Love her. Can I just say something? She's one woman that has always sort of reinvented herself. One day she's doing aerial stuff and another day she's roller skating. Have you seen that? The American Music Awards. She was just dazzling. Absolutely dazzling. And then she was on the red carpet with her husband and her 2 daughters, which I thought were absolutely precious. And she just seems like a very vibrant woman, yeah? It's just nice to see that no matter what the decade, she's just a vibrant woman. Anyway, so it says here the pop star Pink is one of the first collectors of ape art. We are told the singer purchased a $5,000 abstract painting from Art by Chimps okay, at what's being called the first ever exhibit of art by chimpanzees. So this is art that chimpanzees are producing themselves. They're creating themselves. Yeah. So Pink was very curious about the work and was heartened to learn that chimps find painting therapeutic. And like humans, the ape artists tend to be introspective. Look at that. The apes are introspective. Wow. All right. So acclaimed artist Karen Bistet curated the show at the New World Symphony Center in Miami Beach, across the street from Basel. And we're told Pink is one of the out-of-state collectors who bought some of the first art ahead of the exhibit's opening on Wednesday, that was last week. All right, look at this painting. Look at that. So that was my timing. Look at that. Beautiful. Love the color usage. A little bit of gray and black, and always love a good pink and blue mixed together, right? It's not rage, it's more excitement. There's a bit of a mood to it, yeah? It's a bit of a mood. It's like garage music. It's like, yeah, right? That's what I'm getting from it. Good job, Chimp. Oh, which Chimp did this one? I'd like to know the name of them. The piece is called Art by Patty and Kramer. The name of the chimpanzees. Oh, the Patty and Kramer. So 2 chimpanzees made this. Oh, that accounts for the mood juxtaposition. So you've got a darker, more, and then you've got a lighter garage. Right, look at that. I love it. Good job, Patty and Kramer. Good job. Good job, Pat. All right, so now that you've understood that chimpanzees are awesome creatures, and they're sentient and they're beautiful and they feel and they do art, let's talk about what a nasty person is doing. Yeah, let's talk about what a nasty person is doing to monkeys. Chimpanzees, monkeys, different, but you understand what I'm trying to say. This is not good, Elon Musk. Yeah, not good. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. And I tell you, when I read this, I was like, what? What? So here it is from the Daily Mail. Elon Musk's Neuralink has been mutilating and killing monkeys. Physician Group details how the firm performed gruesome experiments on animals ahead of the billionaire's show and tell on November 30th, which was yesterday. Elon Musk's Neuralink is set to host its show and tell. What it happened already. So the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine recently launched a website detailing the gruesome stories of monkeys that are said to have suffered from sloppy experiments conducted at the University of California. So now there's a lawsuit that's been filed. All right, so the lab notes were provided to the group by UC Davis due to the lawsuit filed against it by this year, whatever. The lawsuit states the animals suffered infections from the implanted electrodes placed in their brains, and an unapproved substance known as bioglue killed monkeys by destroying portions of their brains. That's horrible. So Neuralink has confirmed it conducted tests at the university and previously noted several animals were euthanized during experiments. Oh my God. Really? So can I ask a question? If we experiment on humans, like when we do trials and stuff, why not experiment on humans with Neuralink? Why not? You know, why not, I don't know, volunteer to be the person that they experiment on? Why do the monkeys have to suffer? So, regarding the lawsuit by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, this is what UC Davis, who's talking now? We fully comply with the California Public Records Act in responding to their request. The statement reads, a statement. They put out a statement. So UC Davis declined to comment on the allegations, but provided a link to a statement from February. Indeed, animal materials have been supplied to PCRM since the conclusion of the research agreement with Neuralink. Aha. So the February lawsuit details 8 experiments conducted at UC Davis, with each monkey listed with a number. These are the notes. And it started on September 10th, 2018, the experiments. Okay? So if you want to see more about that, oh, look at those. Oh. Just put the video. I'll put it in audio. This is Elon Musk. So he's saying that Pedro has a Neuralink implant in the video. So this monkey's name is Pedro. But you can't see the Neuralink implant, it says. Oh my gosh, he stutters. I don't have a thing about stutterers, but he's nervous and it's making me nervous and it's making me stammer. So yeah, I can't. Plus he's looking a little bit pale and is black. Don't wear black when you're that pale, I think. It's too contrasting, no? That's what I think. I feel like if you're that pale, you should wear something like, I don't know, beige. It's really white against the black. So anyway, that's that, and it's quite a shame, really. So there was something that I wanted to talk about that I thought was interesting when we were talking about the Balenciaga saga. There was something that I saw. It's called it's by Axios, and it says Balenciaga's communications blunder, which I thought was interesting. So I'm going to share that with you all, because this is not an angle that we've really seen much in terms of Balenciaga's saga. So, sorry, you're not stupid, screen. Turns out I am. Self-deprecation, people. I don't feel bad about myself. I feel really good. So it says Balenciaga's communications blunder. Readership of stories mention Balenciaga's odd controversy. So now there's a whole graph about it. So at one point, Kim Kardashian said she was evaluated, and it turns out now that she's declined their ad campaign. So she will no longer be doing an ad campaign for Balenciaga. So luxury fashion designer Balenciaga is under fire for inappropriate ad campaigns featuring children. And so I say why it matters. The brand's disturbing editorial decisions, paired with its messy, delayed and inadequate response, could cause long-term damage to its reputation. In other words, when a controversy comes up, at least in my mind, if you cannot come out with some sort of statement, at least say, we are reviewing the situation and we will come out with a statement shortly. I think that helps. It's just like when you're on hold and they say, we will be getting back to you shortly. You're not just listening to the music every now and again. It's like some automated whatever checks in to make sure that you're still holding, and they kind of talk to you and it's a little bit soothing. So that's what I'm thinking. And then it says here, catch up quick. In mid-November, Balenciaga released 2 unsettling ad campaigns, a holiday ad with children holding teddy bear-shaped purses covered in bondage, and a spring collection ad that was staged in an office and featured a document pertaining to child pornography laws. That's what I was talking about before. These ads sparked outrage across social media and cable news, with many tying the brand to exploitation of children. Meanwhile, Balenciaga and many of its ambassadors stayed quiet. Some people are still quiet. Okay. All right. Okay. And which only raised more questions and gave way to more conspiracy theories. State of play: Balenciaga removed the bear bondage ad on November 23rd and apologized for any offense it might have caused. Now, hours later, the brand issued another statement apologizing for displaying unsettling documents in the spring campaign, according to the New York Times. Now, the fashion house then filed a $25 million lawsuit against the production company and set designers, claiming that the documents were placed in the campaign photographs without their knowledge. But you approved it. And you know what's interesting? They also have to prove, well, they have to distinguish between whether this person was an independent contractor or an employee. That makes a world of difference, because it kind of gives them a buffer if it's an independent contractor, which means they can just put something in there unless their contract says, we must approve every single thing that you do. But I do know for an independent contractor, you really can't supervise them too much. So they might have a little bit of a claim there. If people are wondering, well, how is it that, you know, they wouldn't know if something was placed in there? Well, if you know the nature of employment, you understand that independent contractors are really independent. Yeah. So in that sense, they sort of have a lot of latitude if their contract doesn't state that every single decision needs to be approved by the house or the production manager, whoever's in charge. So it says here, November 28, Balenciaga released a final statement taking responsibility for the grievous errors and lack of oversight, and mapped out steps to ensure this doesn't happen again. Like the data shows where the response went wrong, and Thanksgiving could have worked in Balenciaga's favor. This is really interesting, because the way you handle a crisis or crises, it's very sort of pivotal in terms of where you're going with your company and all that. So if you're a new company, if something happens, you really have to address it quite quickly. And says here, had its initial November 23rd response included an explanation, accountability, and next steps, the issue likely would have fizzled in the holiday news cycle. But multiple tone-deaf apologies and finger-pointing only fanned the flames. Interesting. Playing the blame game. Playing the blame game. Fucking tongue twister. Playing the blame game does not work, people. Accountability, responsibility, that works better. Kanye, you listening? Are you listening, Kanye? I'm just saying, you've made some errors in the way you've communicated, Kanye. Take ownership of the errors in the way you communicated. My opinion about that is, you've got some issues with some people, you name the people you've got issues with. You don't have to talk about their religion. You don't. You really don't. Unless... No, I don't know more about that, so I can't talk about it. I mean, you can't. Like, I can't say all Mormons are something if I've got an experience with like 5 or 6 Mormons. I really can't necessarily do that, can I? And there are different sects too. That's the thing about it. You've got to be specific, and I think the most specific way is names, organization, height, age, hair color, you know. All right. 12 days and one, Kim Kardashian's statement later, Balenciaga took substantive action and issued a clear response. And it says here, be smart. The folks at Balenciaga could have referred back to our Adidas coverage to see the impact of a slow botched response. The bottom line, all a brand has, its reputation. Balenciaga was quick to strike the ads, but slow to accept full responsibility. SKDK Managing Director Ray Robinson told Axios they must undertake a comprehensive internal review of every person involved in creating and approving both ad campaigns. And I think, to depending on how they use their labor force, they'll be able to do that. And I'm not making excuses for Balenciaga because I really don't know how their labor is divided, but I think it'll really depend on that, to be honest. If these people are independent contractors, and it means you're hiring out another company to take care of your ad campaigns, then you really are not allowed to sort of supervise them. You've got a contract, you may write certain things, but at the end of the day, they're independent. But you should have the last word, the very, 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 very last word. So I don't know how that works. If you've got the last word, then there should not be a problem. And that should be in the contract. That's it. That's it for today.